Robert Ocean here. Just thought I'd share something with you in case you're wondering. Why we are called the Robert Ocean Band? Is it just a lead singer thing? Is this my name and that's why we're called? No, actually not, even though that does sound good. We actually started in 2009, 2010, and we were called Frozen Ocean. And we were only a two-man band at the time. And that came from inspiration from a Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds show at Radio City Hall, New York, back in 2009. And I watched that show and was completely inspired to do this project. And I knew that watching Dave and Tim, that two guys with acoustic guitars could really do some fantastic things. So I set out to do that. And I had a handful of songs I was beginning to write. At the time, I was really inspired by a lot of Netflix documentaries I was watching about global warming, polar ice caps, some devastating things, actually, and I think we're all aware of those things, plastic pollution, things like that. And although this project started a long time ago, it's very relevant today, if not even more so. So we got in the studio, two guys, two acoustic guitars, and began to record. Over about 10 days, we recorded 5 songs, and that was the plan. 5 songs, go in there, have a little demo, and go start rocking those shows. Among this recording, while we were recording, my rock band that I was in at the time as well, Toxic Soup, started to come in and check out the end of the recording, and they started hearing some of the songs. And needless to say, they loved it, and they wanted to be a part of it. So immediately I thought, you know what, we'll take this from a 2-man band to a 5-man band or a 4-man band, and we'll rock this out. And we did. We actually, those guys learned all the songs, and we, in both a rock band and now, at the time, Frozen Ocean, we started booking shows together, both bands. One would play an hour before the other one, or vice versa, and we booked festivals where, you know, Frozen Ocean would play during the day, and then Toxic Soup, the rock band, would play in the evening, which was great. We were playing 7 days a week. We had tons and tons of playtime, and it was really great. And we had some success, and just as soon as that success came, the band kind of split up. Guys got into different parts of their lives and different stages of their life, and some were a little scared and nervous because some things were starting to happen, and that happens too, right? So we were called Frozen Ocean, and now it's just me and my acoustic guitar. So I just called it Robert Ocean. I would go to play an open mic or a pub or wherever I play or open up for a band, and that was just Robert Ocean, me and my silly little acoustic guitar, my 12-string. Sometimes friends would come out and help me out, play drums or bass, but more often than not, I was on my own. And so I became Robert Ocean. And about 4 years into this, a independent record label decided to pick me up, and I was pretty pumped about that. I knew the CEO of the company, and they wanted to change the name. They wanted to, not Robert Ocean, they didn't want Frozen Ocean, they wanted something new. So they did. We rebranded the band. I didn't really have a lineup of players. I was still pretty much on my own. But rebranded, new clothing line, new name, and about 2 years, well, not quite 2 years into this record deal, things just weren't happening. Nothing was moving forward. Nothing was really happening. It seemed like a lot of money was maybe not even getting spent, or maybe it was getting spent in the wrong area. Needless to say, we parted ways. That did not go well. Record labels don't like that, and they lashed out and they stole things. They tried to take songs and power of the song and squash some deals that were movie deals and things like that were in the mix. I won't get into too many details about that, but it was pretty bad. And again, to the point where I was like, man, that's it. I'm done with music. Yeah, many artists can tell you that they've been to the point where that's it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I started KRZ Publishing. KRZ Publishing is my company that's basically a publisher, and we started this publishing company with the intent of doing ISRC codes and radio tracking. However, we learned about a year into this business that service is no longer really required because of the tools that are available for artists, independent artists now. They can do it on their own, and if anything, I could show them how to do that on their own. and don't have to charge people to do that. So, what we have done is become very proficient at getting music out there to new ears around the world, and we worked a lot with some mentors, and I think it's really important to mention that without the help of some of these artists that I work with now, I'll name a few for you: Chris Greenwood of Manifest, Rick Barker, Taylor Swift's former manager, and John Gold of HypeDate.com has really helped me grow this business. And when I started Cares at Publishing, remember I quit music. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I realized that was the worst thing I could have done, and to never quit. That I was actually right next door to a really successful career in music. And so I actually still have Cares at Publishing, but restarted the band up and just named it the Robert Ocean Band, not knowing whose bass player is going to be, who the drummer was going to be, if I'd even have a drummer or a bass player or anything like that, lead guitar, backup singers. Maybe I'd have friends come out and help me. It was just easy to call it the Robert Ocean Band because it's very transient. Who knows who's going to be playing when? And that really is a story of how we were called the Robert Ocean Band. I hope that enlightens you a little bit.